Hi, first grade. Today we're going to continue talking about equal parts and fractions and how to describe equal parts of a whole. Yesterday we learned that when we looked at a shape and we saw that maybe one of the parts was shaded and there were four parts in the whole thing, we could say that that was one out of four equal parts. Or if there were two parts in the whole thing and one of those two parts were shaded, we could say that it would be one out of two equal parts. Today we're going to learn some new math vocabulary when we're talking about equal parts and describing parts of a whole. So on this page, you may remember seeing these shapes yesterday in our lesson. And these shapes are split into two parts. Some of them are split into equal parts, but some of them are not split into equal parts. So whenever you have a shape or something that is divided into two equal parts and one of those two parts is shaded, we can call that a half, or we could say dividing something into halves. So let's take a look at these shapes and see which one of these shapes are divided into halves, or there is one half shaded. If we remember back to our circle with the purple, this one is shaded into halves, or we could say one half is shaded purple. This, however, this rectangle has two parts, but the parts are not equal. And remember, I've been saying that equal is a really important part of this. Since these are not equal parts, we can't call these halves. We can't say that one half of this rectangle is orange because they're not equal parts. Okay, here we have our rectangle and one out of two equal parts are blue. So that means that one half of this rectangle is shaded blue. Our circle is not divided into equal parts. So since it is not divided into equal parts, we can't call this, it's not one half. We can't say that this is split into halves. They're not equal. This shape here, they are equal parts, and one out of two equal parts is shaded, and they are equal, so we can circle this and say that this shape is split into half or halves. There's one half is yellow. Okay, and now if we take a look at these shapes are all divided into four parts. Some of them are divided into four equal parts, some of them are not. When a shape is divided into four equal parts and we want to describe certain parts of it that are shaded, we can call that a fourth or say that the shape is divided into fourths. We can also use the word quarters. And if you remember, we learned about it's the same thing with there are four quarters in a dollar. That's four equal parts of a dollar. That's the same as a fourth or fourths when we talk about dividing a shape into equal parts. So let's take a look at these. So you will hear people say, you could either say it's divided into fourths or it's divided into quarters, or you have 1/4 or 3/4 or 1/4 is shaded. So in this shape, we see that it is divided into equal parts and one out of four is shaded green. So we could say that 1/4 of this square is shaded green, or 1/4 of this shape. This here, they're not equal parts. So unless they're equal parts, we can't say it's divided into fourths or into quarters because they're not equal parts. With this rectangle, there is one shaded out of four equal parts. So we can circle this because this one is divided into fourths or into quarters. And this purple part is, we could either say 1/4 or 1/4. And here with this one, they're not equal parts. So this would not be considered divided into fourths or quarters because again, they're not equal parts. I keep saying equal parts is really important. So today for your seesaw activity, you'll have one page that looks like this, and you'll just follow the directions above. It says color the shape so that half of each shape is blue. So you can use your pen tool and choose blue to color in 1/2 of each of those shapes. And then down here, you will color in 1/4 of each shape using your pen tool, and you can select orange. And you will color in 1/4 or 1/4 of each shape. It doesn't matter which part you shade, as long as it's 1/4 or 1/4 out of the whole. Okay, so when you're finished with that, you will click check twice to submit. And then you do have a Kahoot today that kind of just reviews everything that we've been talking about and is a little more practiced with using halves and quarters or fourths. All right, so keep up the great work, and I'll talk with you soon.